Good morning. Welcome to Kauai Terrapin again. Aloha. Today I'm going to show you the wonders of good planning. Now, we had this open field and we lost some trees along the road, so I wanted to plant a row of trees along here. And we had all these trees in the orchard, the nursery, that were getting older. We'd been collecting them from the DLNR, the National Tropical Botanical Garden plant giveaways all year. Many of them had gotten in the ground in different places. They were shrubs and such, but many of them were trees and needed a space. And when you make a space, there's a process involved here. Number one, where do you want them? But maybe, planting that is better than not planting that. Number two, don't plant something around here without water. You can do that, but there are months of the year here that if you don't have water to it, they will die. I don't want to call it drought land, but in Anahola here, we get about 60 inches of rain a year. Just a few miles north, they get 100 and some inches a year. And you go further north, it's even more. So we get adequate rain once the trees are established, like in the orchard, but for starter trees, they need water. So how are you going to water to them? Then you got to dig a hole. Well, digging holes is not as much fun as you might think it is. It's very romantic, digging holes, but once you do 2 or 3, I had enough. It's a lot of work. So I acquired a backhoe at the beginning of COVID, actually. Had a lot of spare time. So I cleared this little area down here. Not very big, but it was adequate. And then we planted the trees. We dug the holes, we put amendments in the holes, we put whatever mulch was appropriate to that tree, etc. We used some gypsum to lessen the salt and increase the calcium absorption. We will eventually use a liquid iron supplement that also has the other trace minerals in it. We'll probably use it as a foliar spray at first, and then we'll use it in the ground eventually. It percolates pretty quick. I'd like to develop a system where I can put that sort of thing in the water here. In fact, right now I wanted to show you why good planning is important. This is a 2-inch water system here. It was suggested that I use 2 inches instead of 1.5 or inch because you want that much volume and force coming from uphill to downhill. It creates an automatic pressure instead of the pump having to do all the work. So I'm going to turn the water on to the wall of sound, and then I'll show you the wall of sound. I'll show you the valve here so you see the actual workings of the farm. Get the hose out of the way. Here's the valve. It's a 2-inch valve. I use a gate valve. We used to use ball valves, these plastic ones, the ones you get, at the big box stores and all. And I like them, but for everyday use, turning on a ball valve all the time, eventually you have to replace it, and sometimes they crack. There's a whole bunch of problems with them. And I like these gate valves better. Now the gate valves, I don't find that they seal as well as the ball valves. In other words, I think there's some water that leaks through this gate valve, and I hear the pump going on oddly at different times. And I think this is the challenge. So I'm going to show you I can't do that. Well, the other end of this, turn this around for you. That is the wall of sound. Doesn't look very interesting now, does it? There's cacao trees, there's a couple oddballs there's some mahogany, there's some other koa. We call it other koa. It's not halekoa, and it's not the koa that you make wood from. It's another koa. It's similar to the koa that they make wood from, but it's not the same one. So I'm sitting here in front of this big guinea grass mound. The next thing, Monday morning, I'm going to be all dressed up like a warrior going to war with my weed whacker. It's the weed whacker with the blade and not the string. The string wouldn't do much around here. And the plants would go, ha ha ha, and they would grow back more the next day. But I'll be walking around with the weed whacker. Not something that's easy to film, though. It's very loud and kind of a lot of cacophony and chaos. But I will be weed whacking, and hopefully all along these palm trees here, and start to refine this area. This is the plumbing we put in last summer, and it's great to get the water to everything. Mostly I put the water here to get to the palm trees, but now because I don't want to predict doom, we're probably going to lose the palm trees to the rhinoceros beetle. The fact is, we had all kinds of mulch underneath them. Now my subtle and weird hope is that if the beetle sticks to these palm trees, they will leave the other ones alone that don't have mulch under them at all. They're grown like in the desert out there in the hill, where there's not much around them. So we'll see. Maybe they will survive, maybe not. I hope we don't lose them. Sadly, I don't honestly know if much we can do to stop it. They had it in Oahu for over a decade, and I don't want to. I heard people, as soon as I say that, people say, well, people in Oahu didn't care or something. That is not true whatsoever. The people in Oahu tried to stop it. They did their best. They didn't know what to do. Came from another place, I think Guam, some other place had it too. They lost their palm trees. And, things come and go. I was told that we were going to lose all of our Java plum a few years ago. But that hasn't happened. So, we will see what happens. We have a rainbow eucalyptus. It's, I think, the tallest thing in the orchard right now. It's amazing. The Gloricidia that protects, the citrus and the cacao from the brutal summer sun. It's huge. We're going to be planting some of those down here for sure. We want that kind of wall of sound protection from the highway noise. It's a couple 100 yards away. Well, it's a beautiful day. I'm going to sit here and listen to the wall of sound get watered for another 5 minutes. Probably not the most interesting thing for you to watch on video. What am I doing today? That's a darn good question. Well, we're going to mitigate some termite damage this morning. My wife and I agreed to work on that this morning. We're going to deal with that up at the house. Then I have to clean out the sauna, put new wood in there. Oh, yeah, the backhoe needed a battery charge, so that's the battery charger's still on it. And I need to take that off and make sure the backhoe starts. And if it does start, I'll probably stay in it, and it usually starts, by the way. Very rarely does. If it works fine, everything's going well, I'll probably go down and do some work in the mulch pile. We take chips from arborists. We don't take large green waste anymore. We take chips, but it's becoming a giant pile. And I need to move all of it back about 20, 30 feet. So I'm going to flatten it out. I'm probably even going to take some of it and maybe cook it. Maybe put some black plastic over it, put a bunch of water with it, and see if I can help it mulch itself better. So turning mulch into compost is a process. Hope you're having a beautiful day, because, well, I know I am. What else am I doing today? After all that farming work, I'm going to go check the fig trees again as well. I'll walk through the orchard a couple times. I may do some pruning. And then at 4 o'clock, if you're listening, if you're around, 4 o'clock on Saturday afternoons on KKCR at kkcr.org. If you're listening online, you can listen to the Newell's Back Porch radio program. You can even call in if you want, or text the DJ and make comments and suggestions and say aloha. The sun is finally coming out. I love you all if you're watching. Hope we can all get along on this planet. Be nice to people. Eliminate the self-righteous attitude. See where people are at. See what they need. Food, shelter, clothes. Take care of each other. Aloha.